Welcome to 155. I can't remember the melody. Welcome to 155. It is a podcast about punk songs. My name is Josiah Noodles Hughes, and with me, as always, is Dexter Sammy Sutherland. I don't know. It doesn't even work. But we could be those. What if we were those names for this month, which is a very special month? I'm so excited to announce the OffspriNovember is finally here.
Just rolls off the tongue. It rolls really, right off the tongue.
It kind of does, doesn't it? I mean, what would you call it? I noticed you speak loudest when it's time to critique the month titles, but when it's time to brainstorm them,
that's true.
You're nowhere to be found.
Well, because I feel like once or twice I've been like, oh, we should call it whatever, and it's always like the really obvious thing. I couldn't give you an example of this. Like, for example, I think I came up with Green May. I think that's all me.
You probably did.
Oh, yeah, like things like Junebreaker, where like I kept calling it Junebreaker, but you refused. You were like, we're doing all Jawbreaker songs this month. Like, you were not into the monthly thematic, and that's fine.
I'm constantly trying to invent new styles of rhetoric, I think, where I just want you to feel dissociated and upset and kind of nauseous. I'm trying to give you seasickness through wordplay. That's what I'm working on. So I appreciate what you're doing too over there in your little corner, but
Thanks. That seems really sincere. You know what I would call, this month of November dedicated to the Offspring, where all we're going to do is talk about the Offspring? Well, to me, that's just regular ass November. So that's what I wowould call it. I'd call it.
What if it was
November?
No.
Nof. I mean, Nofs. I'm
trying to think of no nut.
Where does November rank for you in the months? No nut. No.
The ranking, Dexter, I would say that for my ranking of the months, November is 11th place in a scale out of 12 that I do. That's chronological scale. And it's 11th place.
I see. Okay,
so
that's good. That's pretty fun. All right.
I don't know. Who gives a shit? I don't even know what day it is or what month it is. All I know is that it's the OffspringNovember. I actually we did this with Fugust and Murph, one of my new favorite people, got really upset that we were still talking about Fugazi. Not a single person has complained about us deciding to talk about the Offspring for another month. And I don't want to complain either. I actually we'll get into it, but I want to hate this band, and it's becoming increasingly difficult every week for me to hate this band.
Every time we think we're going to hate them, we don't. Now, we'll see how this episode goes. Maybe by the end we'll at least resent them, and that could, resentment can easily curdle into hatred.
That's true.
So this might be where we turn the corner.
Let's see, because I predict a real sickness of the soul coming out tonight. That is a familiar, a familiar old friend is coming back.
I feel like every other week you message me like, we're going to die, man. And it makes me so anxious because all I want to do is sleep.
Well, one thing that is some kind of segue from that is that also not sleeping awake now is Blink-155 Season 2. That's right. Blink-182 is a band that we talked about for many years, and now we will talk about them for many years too. And much like tonight's episode, there is actually very little parameters now. We used to have... we would talk about one Blink-182 song at a time. Now we're just talking about Blink-182 every week. That actually means that there's no reason for us to ever stop. And that is a level of open-endedness that is giving me a little bit of anxiety to just think that we might have to just keep doing this forever. One of us is going to have to one day say, this is a bad idea. We need to stop. But there's no sort of number or stopgap in place to prevent us from just constantly 10 years from now, no one's listening. We're still being like, oh, let's watch the fucking documentary about Blink-182 that we found on YouTube or whatever. That's the kind of thing that I'm afraid of. But for now, patreon.com.
I can see why that's terrifying to you because you're like, how could we conceivably? And I was like, we could just stop. And then I was like, oh, it'll be me. It's going to be me.
It'll have to be you. But until
It'll have to be me.
Until Sam decides to take me out back and shoot me with a rifle, which is actually what it is going to take. It's not a metaphor. We're going to keep going on patreon.com/155pod. I mean, it has truthfully been very fun so far. If you're hearing this now, the next thing you're going to hear is the cover. So the return of patented 155 cover section. Everyone's covering the new Blink song Edging. I've covered it. Sam's covering it. We're all covering it. And you will be listening to it as well if you do that.
No cov, no love. That's what I say.
And I say punk news.
Punk news, P-U-N-K-N-E-W-S.
My God, I did something where it's playing everything so loud, except your voice is not loud. I'm really doing some kind of sick experiment on myself every week, aren't I?
Are you also doing a sick experiment on the listeners? Like, or does it only sound fucked to you, or is it going to sound...
No, because that just means I'm going to
that...
have to go in and, like, I joke around about not editing it, but I'm obviously going to be fixing levels and doing all kinds of fucking shit. It's just, this is my life, and I love it. It's great. But, Sam, do you have some punk news for me, or should I go first?
You know what? Maybe I'll do some punk news first.
Okay.
I'm ready to go here, and I think my punk news is important because I think it ties very much to my brand as an individual. I feel like when people think about me, they think about Sam Sutherland, the talent portion of the 155 podcast.
Yeah.
They think rugged. They think outdoors. They think like every weekend just getting out there, doing adventures.
Dude, wait. I'm so excited that this is the one time that we've both done the same thing. We're reading it twice. We're doing it twice. We're not doing it once.
Great.
So you'll do yours and then I'll do mine. So yours comes from what website is it?
My website comes from my favorite. It's amazing that
it's also not the same website somehow.
No, because this news was all over the web. I wanted to
This
go
is the biggest punk news of the week. Of course we have to dedicate. And we can't make the segment shorter either. It has to be.
No.
As everyone,
should I share you?
If you're listening for the first
what my
time.
Backup was?
Let's say you saw the
guest. Which I'm not
guest.
going to read.
Let's say you saw the guest and this is your first episode of 155. Well, every week we... obviously we're talking usually about like things that only 90s kids remember, some fucking nostalgia bait bullshit like that. But to keep us planted in the present, we talk about current things that are happening in punk and how we find our punk news. I mean, if there was a website called Punk News, we'd probably go there to get it. But instead, we make our own. We go to Google News, we search punk, and we find something
we
worth talking about.
Reveal so that's how we do it.
Well, okay, maybe we go somewhere. Maybe it's through the wire, AP News, Reuters.
Yeah, I get it through AP News, Reuters. Well, listen, I got mine because this is just where I go again because of all my adventuring, just the various. Journeys that I go on, this. I mean, we don't talk about this that much on the pod. I mean, obviously, I've talked about I've talked about being on tour once or twice. I think it's come up, but
like every weekend, you and your friends will kind of all pile into your vehicle and drive up a really windy road is like really well lit, despite it also being like Aurora Borealis in the sky. And
it's amazing.
There's like some sort of fake Lumineers bed track playing, and then you'll set up a fire quickly and maybe make s'mores and then pack it all up, smile and laugh and pack it up and then drive the same windy road home. And maybe
we never have any speaking lines. We never actually talk to each other.
Yeah, exactly. That's what you do.
Money.
Exactly.
So for that reason, I'm always checking out driving.ca for punk news. And this, I've been waiting for this because this is something that's very important to me and my hashtag Jeep fam. But this comes to us from driving.ca's Jill McIntosh, or McIntosh, I guess, because there's no Mac there.
Well, I think you might pronounce it. I mean, let's not get into that. I'm sorry.
Jill McIntosh says, Jeep announces special run pumpkin paint for 2023 Wrangler. The bright orange shade will be available on all Wrangler trims for an extra $4.95 Canadian. That's pretty great. And then we've got this beautiful picture. I recognize this as just any other Saturday. We've got a Jeep Wrangler with the punk
Ontario.
In the canyons of southern Ontario. So this is obviously the Jeep with the pumpkin paint I've been looking for. I like this when an article just starts with the bullet points. You don't have to check it out. Jeep revives a limited time color last used for 2020. So I've been waiting 2 years for this. It's a bright orange shade. It's available on all Jeep models, and even, this is a little bit of editorializing, I think, from Macintosh here, even the Great Pumpkin would approve. Continuing with its habit
the great.
of punning,
I haven't seen it in a while. Is the Great Pumpkin a guy? Can the Great Pumpkin approve or disapprove of things, or is this kind of like?
I think it's
Wouldn't it be about
probable.
Charlie
I've never
Brown
seen
or
the Great
Linus would be the one to decide whether they approve or not of the pumpkin orange?
When I was young, I thought Peanuts was boring because Peanuts is for adults, and then when I became an adult, I didn't like fucking Peanuts type shit. So Peanuts has never been for me.
That's
I get
little
that it's
bit
like
sad.
very important and special, but
It explains a lot, but go on.
continuing with its habit of punny names, so I can see why you were attracted to this, Josiah. Continuing with its habit of punny names for its exterior vehicle colors, Stellantis has announced. I guess that's the
Is that the parent company?
Stellantis owns Jeep. I knew a company I've never heard of before. I have because of my adventures. Stellantis has announced the 2023 Jeep Wrangler will be available for a limited time with a shade of bright orange called Punkin. So that's PUNK apostrophe N. The announcement was made to tie in with Halloween, but the automaker isn't off its gourd. Instead, it assures us it's a treat, not a trick. It's the 6th special run shade on this Wrangler, following such colors as Tuscarado, pink, Gecko, green, and Gobi, tan. So they're saying that Jeep colors are always punny, but I don't know if there's anything especially funny about Tuscarado pink. Anyway, Pumpkin has been used before in the Wrangler, starting in the 2018 model year, but Jeep squashed it after its final appearance in the 2020 models.
They should have said smashed. Smashing pumpkins.
Like other special run colors for the Wrangler, Pumpkin appeals to a huge enthusiastic following because it's authentic, inspiring, and bold, much like the Jeep community, says Jim Morrison, ooh, wow, head of Jeep in North America. Pumpkin will soon be available on all 2023 Wranglers and will add $4.95 to the price in Canada. I mean,
That's
I'm
pumpkin
rushing out to my local Stellantis to get me this punky shade. The funny thing that I did notice, and I suspect your article will be similarly dated, is this is, October 28th here in driving.ca. Announcing something, for Halloween, but doing it like days before, like the Friday before Halloween, sort of burying it in a Friday news dump. That's strange.
Well,
It just seems like
I've been
bad
having
way to take advantage of
I've been
Halloween.
having this internal thought process the entire time, seeing as how I also have read an entire article written by a different person about the same thing. This is from motorweek.org. This is published on October 31st, 2022, which, for those keeping track at home, is actually the day of Halloween.
Oh, wow.
The scariest day of the year. There's no author on here, but thinking about the days, I do think probably they've nailed it, actually, Sam, because you are not really probably going to buy an entire Jeep to be part of your Halloween costume. So I don't think they need that much headway.
Well,
I think it
that's
probably
people who aren't committed.
committed to the bit. That's true. I mean, that's true.
Yeah, committed to punk and Halloween.
So after a 3-year hiatus, writes this no-name motorweek.org. I like it's a .org as well. Does that mean it's a nonprofit, this website?
It does, yeah.
After a 3-year hiatus, the pumpkin orange paint option is returning for 2023 Jeep Wranglers. Pumpkin is returning to the Wrangler after being offered from 2018 to 2020, retailing as an exterior paint option for $695. The color is spelled American, so I'm guessing that was $695 USD. Is it cheaper in Canada to get it?
That's what the fuck? When has that ever happened? We got to get out and get these Jeeps, man.
The color is available for order now, though Jeep says it's only available for a limited time. As I'm sure you've already pieced together, this announcement was purposely aligned with Halloween. However, the returning hue is more than just a spooky season trick or treat. I mean, people really need to work on their Halloween, copy.
Yeah.
But fortunately, who's killing it with the copy is Senior Vice President, head of Jeep Brand North America, Jim Morrison, who we get the full quote this time, much better than driving.ca. Bringing back pumpkin right around Halloween is a great time. Let's roll that back because it doesn't make any sense, actually. Bringing back Punkin right around Halloween is a great time to relaunch this confident and custom color on the iconic Jeep Wrangler, said Jim Morrison. Like other special run colors for Wrangler, Punkin appeals to a huge enthusiast following because it's authentic, inspiring, and bold, much like the Jeep community, of which we could soon be members. But anyways, I thought, let's run it back even further, just have a little bit of punk news back in the day, punk news history. Of course, we were already potting at this point. We should have been on this earlier on, but this is in 2018. Of course, this is from the landmark Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in Belton. Their young boy here introducing the pumpkin color in the
This is one of the new colors. It's called Pumpkin Orange. They've actually brought this back this year. It was used back in the older body styles. It was called Omaha Orange back then, but now they've brought it back. Made it a little bit lighter, I guess you could say, and trying it out on the new body styles to see what it would look like. They also brought out a Mojito, which is like a green color, and that's another special color that they're bringing out with the new body style.
Pretty cool. So that's punk news. Thank you everyone for listening, and we'll see you on the other side of this song.
Punk news, P-U-N-K-N-E-W-S.
Wow, I'm in the mood for some punkin', Sam.
Well, I've got great news for you because we're talking about one of the punkest songs in the Offspring's catalog. That's right. We're finally doing a song that is not from a major label Offspring album. It is time to talk about still probably the most popular Offspring song of all time, Self-Esteem. Josiah, how's your self-esteem?
I had a feeling you were going to ask. You know, I think today it's pretty good. Not too bad. It's okay. It's there. I mean, you know, my self-esteem really, you don't end up building an entire world around yourself that you can control and where you can dunk on people endlessly without having some self-esteem issues, I think. So it's, you know, it's up and down, but today is doing pretty good. How about you?
Well, I was going to say mine was pretty good until you did, you know, that classic thing where you go, I had a feeling you'd ask this, which is to say, this is predictable to me. And it's always like a little way of you letting me know that, you know, for example, even if we both pick the same punk news article, you're going to be the one who's going to go and find like a video of this like disturbing Harmony Korine-esque character explaining Jeep colors. So, you know, it was fine, and now it's rocked again. I suspect by the end of this episode, when I'm like genuinely questioning like what it is about me that like doesn't allow me to disengage from this project and this hobby, that it'll be even lower. So
it's not good.
I'd say it's not good. It's not good today. But my affection for the song "Self-Esteem" by The Offspring, that is quite good.
Now,
And
if
so
you'll allow me
what about you?
If you allow me to say something kind of interesting that's about the song, which might be the only time I do this right now,
Yeah.
kind of just, and not even a fact, just an observation. I sincerely think that it is somewhat worth observing that their most grunge alternative rock sounding song is from their non-major label album. And then some of these other songs we've heard, they're trying to, you know, The Kids Are Not All Right. They're trying to do some sort of punk semblance. Even the Crazy Taxi song, you know, that has a little bit of punk to it. So it's funny that once they signed to a major label, they tried to sound punk, whereas this is definitely more just like a big eyebrow ring anthem for alt-rock Gen Xers, right?
Yeah, this is so like without. I think we talk a little bit about this with our guests this week, but without this being like surrounded, because there are like, although interestingly enough, I was like around this song there are punk songs, but like is Come Out and Play a punk song? Like really?
Probably in like a nasty sort of punk, like I mean, in like a Dead Kennedys kind of way, right? Like.
Yeah, I mean, in trying to find some like interviews where they talk about this song, I saw one where Brian was discussing writing this, and Come Out and Play. So Come Out and Play has that kind of like Middle Eastern riff, and I was like, I don't know about this band. So yeah, real Dead Kennedys vibes, I guess. Although recently in Discord, I believe we were being given some grief for our.
Well, I also believe
the
Dead Kennedys are facing some grief too, in that their drummer did just pass away. But we don't blame the drummer for the tunes. You know, the drummer is doing his own thing always, just holding down the rhythm. There's nothing wrong. I've never said that the Dead Kennedys were not in the pocket at all times. So it's nothing about the drummer.
That's true. That is something people cannot put words in your mouth about that. This is like such a 90s, like if it weren't for the fact that other Offspring songs are like ostensibly punk and that they come from a punk background, like this feels like you and I have talked, I believe both on and off pod, about satellite radio when you get a rental car and how
dude, I just like have it now though. Like I got like a
so
deal,
great.
and whenever I drive around, I listen to it because it's like so cheap and it's like easier than putting on my Spotify. So I'm at any given time, I'm like, I'll go through like a day where I'm just like, I'm only listening to 40s music now, and I'm driving around like, it's so stupid.
What's it like to drive around listening to 40s
it's
music?
incredible.
Like, has it changed you?
You feel like you're in like a movie that's made by maybe a director I've never heard of or seen any of his films, but if I was to imagine this director, he'd be kind of a nebbish, sort of anxiety-induced dramedy comedian type of guy. Like if someone like that made a movie,
it's funny when you do it like that, it just sounds like you're being anti-Semitic.
Right. Well, I'm not. Okay. I'm definitely not.
You're doing woke anti-Semitism. I see.
I'm being Semitic right now.
Right. Okay.
Sometimes
the problem with this particular director is you were being too pro-Semitic perhaps in the past, and so you're trying to balance it out. I understand.
I've heard Howard Stern for the first time in my life. I kind of get it now. I understand why people like it.
This is incredible.
Yeah. So
this journey you're on. So
the years. Are you saying this is like
Lithium?
Lithium.
Well, it just reminds me of the experience.
The lady who like introduced, she's like trying so hard. She's like doing like somehow an offensive Janine Garofalo impression. She's like, "You're listening to Lithium." Like she's trying to be like so sarcastically Gen X. It's so good.
It's just very reality bites. So the experience of like listening to Lithium, like to me, Self-Esteem is like the dream of like 2 hours in a car where you have satellite radio and you're listening to Lithium, because at its worst, all Lithium is like Pearl Jam songs and like the bad Stone Temple Pilots songs, but at its best, it's Self-Esteem and the good Stone Temple Pilots songs.
Yeah, I mean, it'll always be like one good song and then Alice in Chains comes on and then I change it and then they've timed it so every channel at once has something I hate. And then suddenly
They're
every
all playing
channel,
the Rooster.
every channel is suddenly playing a different Counting Crows song, and then it becomes great again. So it's really weird. But I agree. But I think of this song as more like a radio thing, specifically, almost like before. You know how like all alternative rock radio in like the 2000s had such a identity crisis, and then I think just started playing that song "Son of a Bitch" by the Radcliffe guy. What do you know what I'm talking about? Son of a bitch.
No.
It's like some kind of awful indie wedding song that people love. And if you like that song and you're listening to this, just turn it off. Turn off the show. You're not welcome here. But that, like, I think they kind of became sort of like, they all started playing Lumineers and Arcade Fire and shit. But before that, before like the great merging of alt rock and indie, whatever would be XMU now on Sirius. But before that, this reminds me of like the classic era, 99.3 The Fox. It wasn't alternative rock. It was Vancouver like rock, the Fox Rocks. This is the song they would always play. This song makes me think of going to the Canada Day fireworks in Abbotsford and just like the smell of all the like 50s cars that were there, and maybe not a corn dog. I don't even know, maybe mini donuts or something. This song makes me think of the smell of mini donuts and like a faint whiff of puke in the air at some kind of group event in the late 90s.
I mean, amazing. And what about the aesthetic? Because did you watch the video before?
Oh, no, I forgot to. I'll put it on right now with no music on.
The video is just like, I mean, you can see it in like the single art. It's like the X-ray kind of vibe. It's so fucking 90s.
Oh, he's wearing a Sex
like,
Pistols shirt. That's cool.
Yeah, he wears a Sex Pistols shirt, a Germs shirt, and a Vandals shirt. And like everything about the colors and the fucking skateboarding and his braids, like it's like a racist parody of the 90s. It's so fucking extreme, like in a way that like, I feel like on some level when we bring back 90s aesthetics, like we're missing a little bit of like the Offspring Smash era 90s aesthetics.
Yeah.
Because like Come Out and Play kind of is the same thing, and you look at the single art for this, and it's the same kind of like...
Who else really wore braids like this other than him? Like, maybe... I can't picture any grunge guys having braids. I can picture nu metal guys maybe. Like, this leads into Korn, but I can't really picture...
Yeah,
pre-nu metal.
I mean, I guess. Well, I guess Axl had the braids. Let's see. I'm literally on ultimate-guitar.com reading 10 rock metal artists who sported dreadlocks. Trent Reznor had braids. Dexter Holland's on this list.
But it's not very like pop punk. I guess there were some white dreads. Maybe I feel like probably NoFX had dreads at some point, but these braids specifically. There's definitely something very unique to it. I can't believe how much I like the Offspring now. This fucking sucks.
That's the thing is like they don't look like 90s pop punk guys. Like they sort of just look like the Offspring, and that's fucking cool. Yeah. Like Blink look like the coolest version of like a band like Blink, and on some level so do Green Day. And the Offspring are just like so fucking grody. And I think that's also probably because like we don't necessarily listen to as many like. My impression is that they come out of like I don't listen to TSOL or whatever. There's like this era of Southern California shows I just don't fucking care. And so like I think it's
totally you're right.
A blind spot a little bit for us. And
whenever we would talk to like old heads about Blink-182, they'd always be like, like some guy who's like in his mid-40s would always be like, I was always into like the LA bands instead, and they'd talk about TSO. Like do those people like the Offspring in the way that we like Blink?
No fucking way. Do you think they're like, I just like hit that? I mean, I don't know, reminds me of being a kid.
I don't know. I don't get it. I get more confused every week. It's probably because I create this hell chamber for both of us to start off each week. But who knows?
I'm ready to start understanding LA though. Like I'm finally reading the John Doe book Under the Big Black Sun about LA punk. And I've obviously read like We Got the Neutron Bomb, and what else is there about LA? But LA is like so what a fucking stupid, horrible place. And so I think like all the bands that come from there is fucking just like they're all as la-la as the land itself. And it's very strange. But like I'm just looking at this single art and that sort of like typewriter font, bleeding typewriter font, high contrast.
It's like, what it is like the we talk about this later with our guests too, but I feel like there was skate punk and pop punk, and then there was like the smoke pit. And I feel like the Offspring is the only punk adjacent band that makes sense with like smoke pit people. And I think that's really like aesthetically you can see it. Like this does make more sense in like a rock shop on a patch wall with 9 Inch Nail logo.
Yes.
It's very strange.
Now, you might think that this song, the meaning is pretty straightforward, but I wanted to make sure that we had it right. So I went to the source, songfacts.com. And they lay it out here. You might be a little surprised to learn, but the number one, by the way, Songfacts is a registered trademark. So Songfacts, registered trademark in a circle, : here, letting you know, do not fucking come for Songfacts. They will sue you within 24 hours.
And that's facts.
That's facts, baby. So the number one song fact, this song is about a guy who lets his girlfriend walk all over him. The reason? He has no self-esteem. Thank you, song facts. So
pretty much straight up, he said that's basically just what he says, right? Why do they have now something that we've talked about a lot is like their gimmicks and jokes. Why does every single Offspring song open with him doing some kind of like like just some sort of non-verbal singing?
Well, in that sense, I think like that's what's so interesting about I guess a song like Pretty Fly for a White Guy, because you take the sort of like funny opening of Self-Esteem and you combine it with the like novelty riff vibe of Come Out and Play, and then you add this like, and what's interesting is like in reading interviews, about Pretty Fly for a White Guy, it's like that was people were talking about that. They were talking about white guys who thought they were pretty fly. And even Self-Esteem, he talks about, he's like, I was watching talk shows and that's all they talked about on talk shows. Like, I feel like Bryan writes songs, and we've talked about this before, a Canadian band Serial Joe, that the singer of Serial Joe's mom used to write all of their lyrics by like cutting out cool words from skateboarding magazines. And I feel like that's how he writes songs, is like, what's in this? Like, what else is going on? What else is going on? Hey, talk shows, everyone talking about their self-esteem. We got white kids listening to rap music wearing baggy pants. All right, let's go. And they just sort of keep powering up and like being like, oh, you liked that about this song? We're going to combine the funny sounding intro with the like, heightened commentary on a contemporary cultural trend, but eventually you end up with like the monkey music video for we Never Have Sex Anymore.
Well, let's not bring that up yet, just in case.
It's just a little bit of, I'm just simply mentioning it. But I do think apparently that intro was supposed to be like acoustic guitar, and then they tried singing it, and it's so like when you hear that, I do feel like we talked a lot about. In particular, I feel like during the Blink-155 era, which is still going behind the paywall, patreon.com/Blink-155, 155pod.
I think they both work.
That sense of like feeling fucking activated the second you, like because to me, this is a song that you only hear in a car. Like I can't imagine hearing this song on my of my own volition. I don't think it would happen, and I can't imagine like being out and hearing this. I will admit, Junior Battles has covered this song as a mashup with "Save Tonight" by Eagle Eye Cherry, which fucking was very sick. But like when you hear that fucking 155, like the way you were doing it off the top, like. Does it like I feel like my fucking like the hairs in the back of my neck go, and I'm just like, oh, I'm driving now, baby.
It's like there's no mincing words. It's hard as fuck when he introduces the song like that. It like hits so hard. It's crazy.
It's so big. It's just because it's kind of risky because you're like, we're just gonna sing like assholes. The kind of riff.
It reminds me actually the very first guest we ever had on the show. And save your commentary. Really, it's a little. It's complicated, obviously. But we had Mishway on, the very first guest on the show. I fucked up the recording. It sounded so bad. There's many things about it that are fraught at this point in history. But Mish did say, and the thing that made me think, oh, this will be fun to talk to people about Blink-182. She said that Blink-182 sounds like they're singing "Na Na Na Boo Boo," which I thought was such a funny phrase. And I think I hear that in this. Like, this is the epitome. This La 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 is the epitome of like sneering at a parent kind of singing, which I just love. I almost wish that the song was more free punk lyrics and not men going their own way lyrics kind of vibe.
So that's like, I guess something that we need to address is like, it's not like they've aged badly or were instantaneously fucked the way like a lot of Offspring lyrics are, and I think we're probably gonna end up talking about some more of those songs in November. But it's like so like, damn, women be doing me wrong vibes. It's like really. And I say this as a fan of like the worst women be doing me wrong vibes songs like in the world, but it's just it's so goofy. Like I don't know. I feel like even in like dashboard songs, which are like quite sort of like brutal in their like treatment of the women that inhabit them. There's like not this like idea of like the guy in this song is just like so he's never done anything wrong in his life. But I do understand it now, sort of in the context of this is from Dexter Holland watching talk shows. Like, and he's talking to people think that it's like autobiographical, and it's not, and that's in like every little factoid, every song fact and song meanings interpretation of the song.
I hope that you're not intending any copyright infringement when you say the phrase "song fact" right now, because that's.
I don't. I'm respecting their registered trademark, but it sort of makes sense that it's not like like an actual sort of like personal song because it's so, but that instead it just comes from watching like
Also, he says,
Ricky Lake or whatever.
I love you. So I don't know if we need to read the whole thing or not. It's whatever you think. But I wrote her off for the 10th time today and practiced all the things I would say. But she came over. I lost my nerve. I just love this idea because it doesn't rhyme, nor is it really a thing that would ever happen. I took her back and made her dessert. Like, first of all, what does that even mean? Like, you baked her a cake or something? You created some? Was this like a bake-off challenge? You quickly had to freeze the ice cream in order to get it ready in time, or is he saying I made her into dessert? Perhaps.
Interesting.
Whoa.
Like, so sort of like blood diner type situation. Like, I feel like every one of these songs has a line where you're like, has he ever had like a normal interaction before?
Yeah, exactly.
And like maybe he has, because if you think about it, like Smash is being written, and you like talks about this with Come Out and Play, like that he's driving to his like finish his doctoral thesis, like so he's going back and forth to school, and like presumably socially only interacting with either like reprobate punks or like, you know, molecular biologists. I think I said all of the words in those sentences wrong, but we've been podcasting for a minute and we're going to keep going. Like, just like the idea of like, you think of Back Off Your Jive from All I Want. You're like, well, who fucking,
yeah,
just imagining teenagers who talk like this. And this idea of like, what's the thing that you'd do if you were like an aggrieved guy? And you're like, I guess you'd be like making her dessert. It's so fucking nuts.
I just don't even think making unless you're like someone who bakes, in which case I don't think you'd be doing it when she came over last minute. I just don't think even you don't say, oh, I'll make you dessert. If you have like guests over for dinner, you're not like, oh, let me go make you dessert. You'd be like, oh, I picked up some pie, or I baked a cake earlier, or I have ice cream. Like, why don't I get you some dessert? But you don't even really say the phrase "make you dessert," do you? Am I like losing my mind?
Make you dinner and
then we'll have dessert. We'll have dessert.
Yeah.
You don't make dessert for someone unless you're like, that would be something you would do earlier in the day or the day before.
Yeah, because baking takes a long time. Like, just be like, okay, well, just wait here, like for
6 hours.
Hours?
Yeah. It's like you don't really. Unless
no wonder she's mad at him. She's like, I'm hungry, and he's like, I've got an idea. He's fucking building pie crust from scratch.
Maybe maybe he's just
losing your fucking mind. Just make some ramen. What the fuck?
Maybe his dessert that he's making is something that can be made quickly, like a fruit salad. But no one that's not dessert. No wonder, dude. Like, come on,
nuts.
Get your shit together. Now, Sam, do you have on your Genius page? Do you have a "you might also like" section? And is it the most confusing collection of songs you've ever seen in your life?
What, is it at the top or the bottom?
It's kind of as you scroll down the song. This is what I have on here. It says "you might also like." On the Offspring self-esteem, it says, you might also like DJ Khaled Staying Alive, which I clicked through. I've never heard of that song. And he has used the Stranger Things font for that. And then Happiness by the 1975. I'd never heard that band before except for a couple seconds on Sirius XMU. And then Running Up That Hill, A Deal with God, Kate Bush. Now, was this song in Stranger Things? Maybe that's why.
Oh, I wonder, eh? Hold on. But no, because Stranger Things is set in like the fucking 80s.
Yeah, that's true.
No, it's not.
Why would it tell me to listen to those songs?
Also, there's also no way the DJ Khaled song using the Stranger Things font was in Stranger Things.
I don't know.
Damn.
Oh, God. I don't know if we need to read all the lyrics, but it's basically this woman, he hates her, and she keeps sleeping with all of his friends, and he's making her dessert. And then there's a section in the song that I think is like incredible lyrically, and I think I want to say that the first line is like my anthem, but it might actually be both lines if I'm being honest. But I think this is a beautiful turn of phrase. I may be dumb, but I'm not a dweeb. That's like, dude, that like almost gives me chills. But then he says, I'm just a sucker with no self-esteem, which unfortunately I think that applies to me as well quite a bit. But I may be dumb, but I'm not a dweeb. Like, that's fucking tight. That's like,
it's so good.
Oh my god.
The idea that the chorus is the oh way oh, like that, and that at least the way Genius is doing it, it's the post chorus is the when she's saying oh that she wants only me. I mean, I'm not 100% sure that that's technically not also the chorus.
Yeah.
But like, there's just so much in the song where it feels like, and again, Brian talks about it a little bit in this interview with where is this from? I think this is from Hysteria magazine. This is it says flashback 1994, but I feel like this interview is they're just simply looking back.
They're flashing back. Yeah.
But where they talk a little bit about the lyrics. People ask me about the lyrics a lot. I'm not really sure what to say about that because I've always felt like the lyrics were secondary to what we were doing musically. I'd write the songs, have a melody in mind for what the vocals were going to do, and just sort of fill in the words at the last minute. It seems kind of whatever or kind of arbitrary. So like, I feel like this song is a little bit of the epitome of that, but from time to time, again, these like really incredible, like this just feels like a really simple, like, what if like your girlfriend was cheating on you and you just kept having sex with her anyway,
and then making her
whatever
dessert after, yeah, exactly,
and then making her a pie from scratch,
post-coital whip going on in the kitchen, making a meringue.
There's just like there's stuff in here that is like so melodic and percussive that it does sort of make sense that like you would just have had this melodically, and that it's better that he didn't try to overwrite it, because like the way this song ends with the like right yeah is just like fucking awesome. Like singing along to this song is like that you're just like I'm fucking alive. It's so high. Like that chorus is so fucking high.
Yeah.
And it demands, like, you can't casually be like, oh, here, like, when I come around. You can't do that. Like, you have to commit with, like, every fiber of your being to sing along to all of these songs' insane lyrics. And they're fun. Like, when you get to that, like, I may be dumb, but I'm not a dweeb. Like, fucking, that feels so good coming out of your mouth because it is so beautiful.
It's so good.
Now,
so here's an interesting thing. Maybe I don't want to. Well, kind of at the risk of me being glib. I don't think I'm gonna. I don't know if I can start saying dweeb or not. I'd like to, but I've just read here that it is perhaps a blend of dwarf and early 20th century phoebe, meaning a feeble-minded person. So it could be a blend of dwarf and feeble.
There's no fucking way. That's offensive.
I hope not.
You sharing that is offensive.
I hope that's not the case, because I want. I mean, that's the one that's being passed around here, for sure. That's from Oxford, so I don't know if you're.
Ooh,
yeah,
House of the Ox, baby.
That's the place that invented the nice shirts.
They nailed it. Just in thinking about, again, like what the kind of percussiveness of these lyrics, like the way that they really come through, you might have noticed, I don't know if when you were listening back to it, that there's just like an intimacy to this. Like I love how these early Offspring records sound. They're so like gross and trash can-y, and they sound like a band playing
very
in like
solid state,
shitty room
sounding.
Yeah. And you and I are not the only people who have noticed that. The astute users of Quora. This question has been asked. I'm just like really in love with the phrasing of this question. I wanted to share it. This is from, I don't know if it says when this question was asked, when this Quora was quarreled, but the Offspring came out with a song called Self-Esteem. This sounds like the beginning of a joke. Hey, they've been the Offspring. They've got that new single. It's called Self-Esteem.
And what was the punch?
The Offspring came out with a song called. The Offspring came out with a song called Self-Esteem. Why does the singer's voice sound so close?
It's very poetic.
Do you feel like his voice sounds really close in this?
I don't know what is that? That's just an interesting way of describing music. Like close to the mic or louder than everything else? Or to me, close would be like high gain, quiet singing, one of my favorite moves.
Yeah, where you're getting a lot of mouth. Yeah,
I don't know.
Well, I mean, Kevin F has asked, and Kevin F looks like a real power user.
Well, it's Kevin. It's the full name is Kevin F. Mad Monster Hunter, professor of punkology. Yes. Put some respect on his name.
They have authored more than so they've authored more than 5,000 answers on Quora, and I guess that's what makes him a professor of punkology. I feel like we should check out. I kind of want to see what else Kevin has written about. So again, the question is, why does the lead singer's voice sound so close? And Kevin says, so close to what? Dexter Holland is a punk singer. He does shout a lot, which is fairly common for that music genre. His voice isn't really that unusual. And then he goes on to just like explain. But I'm mostly just really into. Can I see this? There looks like there's a second answer here, but I don't know if it's. There was an answer here. This is pretty good. This is from Avery Patrick. Because when they mix stuff, they will pan one guitar to play in your left ear. If you have headphones on in your right ear, the drums will also be divided amongst the two headphones, and the vocals will either be duplicated to play in both ears or panned directly to the middle and dubbed over twice to sound louder to give the illusion that it's closer. Hope that helped.
Quora,
it's an interesting description of the mixing process.
I'm so confused on Quora. Like everything is so fucked up on this website, and all of the ads.
It's so hard to read.
My ad blocker doesn't work on here. It looks like It looks like this question was asked by Karma Shopping Limited, who have also written the coupon hack every shopper must know. So I feel like I'm so lost, but I love what the Mad Monster Hunter had to say, as well as the other answer is not even on my page at all. So I don't know. Quora.
I mean, it looks like he's weighing in on things both, punk, there's a question, do you think rock and roll is way better than rap and hip hop? No, nor do I think it's worse. Interesting.
Wow. Well, I clicked on one that said, what are some of the most controversial rap lyrics? And I would need to sign in to prove I'm at least 13 years old to see what he's written. So I'm not going to do that.
Wow. It's okay. I'm falling down a Quora hole. I'm going to pull myself out. We got a lot of covers to watch tonight, but this is like our first opportunity to watch like sick ass old Offspring videos. But don't worry, we are going to watch some fucking whack ass current Offspring videos. But this is,
thank God. Let's go on a journey.
This is them playing, I think I accidentally grabbed the full thing here.
Let's watch it.
Get the time code. You want to just watch an entire Offspring live at the Fairgrounds Coliseum in Utah in 1994?
I would love to. I got all night, baby.
Okay.
I don't have to work for 12 hours.
It's true. Why would you want to possibly not watch? I'm having trouble scrolling here for the time. Okay, I think this is
Look at those braids. Whoa. They're covering. What the fuck? This is crazy. See, when he's kind of singing in his lower register, it sounds good.
This is so good. Well, this was an accident.
Oh, wait, that was an accident. Here's the one.
I'm falling in love with them in real time.
What, you guys don't want to crew down here or what?
Is he really tall? I can't remember.
I feel like he's tall.
He's 6'2". He's shorter than Tom DeLonge.
I can't believe how tall he is.
Oh, I just saw Noodles, and he looked also absolutely insane. Oh, and then it cuts off.
And then it cuts out. Heartbreaking.
That was incredible. That was a masterpiece, really, what you showed.
That was really fun. I'm so glad we accidentally watched the... Oh, wait, that's not by us. Here they are playing it in Glastonbury in 1995. Like...
The palm muting, too, is really important in this song.
Also, the bass part's so good.
It's so good, and it's one of those things where it's like... It was so easy for bands back then to just, play the most easy thing for the first time and then blow everyone's mind.
Yeah.
He's wearing a shirt that says punker.
Oh. This is cool. There's got to be 100,000 people just pogoing.
at Glasto, having a boffo time at Glasto. Like, the thing that makes him grunge is that when he's not doing the Weird Al voice, he has like a slight yarl. He's like,
Yeah. All right, well, let's see how the whole thing would even look just a couple of years later here at Woodstock 99, a set that we've watched a few times.
wow, he seems like he's
Does the
aged
bass
a
player
lot.
I know, it's kind of crazy, but like, is that Dexter? Does he have a fucking peace sign shaved into the back of his head?
Whoa, really?
Or an alien?
The bass player?
No, it's definitely something shaved into the back of his head.
He would be so good at like
looks
new
so much
country.
older. Yeah. Hold on, I just want to look up.
Yeah, something happened to him in the between 96 and 99. Something bad happened to him.
I swear to God, something's shaved in the back of his head. Like, there's no way, I don't think it's bald.
That's sick. Did I ever tell you that one time I had the word yo shaved into the back of my head when I was a kid?
Oh, that's awesome. All right, well,
This
so
song,
that's
I will say this about this song. The recording has a sense of urgency, as does those mid-90s performances, but I can only imagine what you're about to show me is like so horribly depressing, and that this song must just be absolute
Why would you
hell.
think that? Why would you think that? No, you know what's funny is that, like, I found another interview. The individual interviews, like, who really cares? But where Noodles is like, it's literally fun to play that song every time, and I honestly believe them. Like, I walked away from all of this just feeling like they're just sort of nice guys enjoying the fact that they're in the Offspring, and they're happy to play the little songs that you like so much. So here they are. This has been a favorite set, I think. I was sad that we've had a few episodes without it. But this is the Offspring at Hellfest. Yeah, that's right. The Hellfest in Maryland.
No.
Not the...
No.
Fine, okay, Hellfest, France, 2022, this year.
Music's back, baby. That part is so sick. The palm muting
It's
build
so
up.
good. Well, you've talked about, because we've talked about this even in, what's the really bad song that we did? And it has that part that, like, makes you want to two-step.
Yeah. Original Prankster, I think.
Yeah.
He's doing something interesting. Or
Noodles just taps.
nerve. Is this the one where we think he has auto-tune on his mic?
There's some, yeah, there's like definitely a double, and then there's like a live like correction happening, and it's so insane sounding.
I kind of think
Yeah, because like in 1994 he couldn't hit these notes live.
yeah, and I don't think they've changed the tuning.
No, I mean we've listened to it. It doesn't sound like it's. To be honest, this actually sounds like less fucked than some of the other songs from this set that we've listened to. I'm almost disappointed in how like just sort of like normal it sounds. Like it's kind of slower and whatever, but like.
Well, let me undisappoint you by disappointing you a whole lot more. How does that sound?
I love it, man.
Sam, I was going to go into covers, but for some reason, I don't know, there's just some energy in the air. I was maybe going to skip this, but I'm feeling particularly, I don't know if it's sadistic or masochistic. I can't remember which one's which. It's probably a bit of both. So I am going to make us watch this because it's called There Is No Way, The Offspring Self-Esteem Reaction by Alex Hefner. It's on my list, and the version of the song that he listens to is something I thought was a cover, but was just like a horny upload called the Beautiful Girl version, where it's just like this lady biting her lip while the song is on. I mean, we just have to watch a little bit of this. I'm sorry. We just have
How's
to.
your self-esteem? Did you know that for 99 cents per day, you can have access to any licensed therapist? I'm just kidding. That would be awesome. I've seen ads like that before for therapists. That would be a perfect ad for this reaction video, but I don't have one.
He has the tapestry on his wall that's like, I don't know. It's from memes. Like some sort of weird
Hey, yo, YouTube, what's going on?
kaleidoscopic silk tapestry. You know what I'm talking about?
Today,
What is
another
that?
reaction
Yeah.
video. Automatically had to go right back to the Offspring because you guys love that reaction. Comment with the most amount of likes on that video said you should look at Offspring self-esteem. Had 333 upvotes, and that's a good indicator of
We could
what
become
song I'll
guys
listen
like
to next.
this.
So if you find yourself in the comments agreeing with somebody, go ahead and give
I
that
feel
a
like
thumbs up.
I
know
don't
that
look
that's what you wanna hear as
dissimilar
well.
to
Anyway,
this guy.
diving into
Well, you don't
it,
look dissimilar,
The
but you don't do the thing.
motherfuckers.
Certain guys who are like people like for some reason just I think assign some sort of maybe not phrenology. I know that's a bad word, but some sort of a body biology of guys that I don't usually have anything in common with are like guys who kind of talk from their molars. They're like, we're gonna check out the Offspring. Like he kind of does this kind of like molar talk.
Self-esteem, and let me build yours for a little bit. You
But not
are
even
fucking
really-
awesome.
I don't know.
You are adaptable, adventurous, affectionate, ambitious, amiable, compassionate.
What is this
considerate,
guy's deal,
courageous,
do you think?
amazing, the best, fucking beautiful.
Like,
don't
Sam, you're
ever
nothing
change.
like
I
this
love
guy.
You so
You
damn
know,
much.
you're-
Let's get back to the video.
Absolutely
I
not.
appreciate that.
So yeah, this is like called the Beautiful Girl version that he's watching. I just want to get to when he talks about the bass line because it's really funny.
What the hell?
So wait, the premise here is he's never heard
I
self-esteem?
guess so. Look at his faces that he's making. I think he's heard it. 'Cause watch what he does now. I
Where's
think
the beautiful girl version? Is just someone uploaded it with a photo of a woman?
she actually moves
Hold
her
on, can we
face
take
around.
a second
Okay, here,
and
wait, this
admire
part.
that rhythm section right there? I mean, Jesus Christ, dude. Talk about fucking funky.
Anyways, that's enough of that guy. I can only.
God.
I'm sorry. I don't
That
know
was
why.
terrible,
I don't know
man.
why.
Why would you do that?
I don't really know why I
damn it,
did that to us, but you know, I just felt like I had to.
I know.
It was on the
Yeah,
list.
thank you. You definitely had
I
to.
can't break from the list. I'm sorry. I don't know who makes these lists, but I can't break from them. But this is fun. This is a parody of it called The Separation of Powers. This is an Offspring Self-Esteem parody by Lily Friedman. Now, this was done for a class at school, specifically. And also, YouTube has done a redesign since last week, so everything looks different. I don't know if you noticed that.
Oh, wow.
It's for Mr. Helm's Civics and Economics, third period, 2016. NMarf13 has commented, I'm cringing so hard right now. That's a little rude. NMarf. There's nothing to cringe about in here. All these kids have braces. They're going to school us on the legislative versus executive and judicial branches, I think. Wings? Is that why there's a bird?
Oh, I guess.
The president vetoed for the 10th time today.
Let's go.
Checks and balances, that is the way. The bill came back, I lost my nerve. I hope we pass it with over 2/3. Now I know it takes a long time. That's okay, man, 'cause I want to stop crime. I know that this is fair. The separation of powers is there. Branches of government prevent too much power. Branches of government prevent too much power.
Wow.
All right.
Like, also, just the video is just like them throwing all the pool noodles into like someone's bag. Like, it's so weird.
all
That's so
wearing
fucking
suits.
weird.
They're all wearing suits for no reason. We're already 2 videos in, and I already feel like I'm gonna die. Absolutely, I guaranteed I'm not gonna survive the next hour of my life.
Yeah,
so
this
nice.
is fucking terrible, man.
Well, maybe this will be, but this is more. Well, I mean, I was gonna ask you though, like, because you're kind of more the politics junkie. You did recently have a viral tweet in Ontario for your political views. Was this
really the GTA? But it's fine.
Did you agree with what these kids were saying about politics, or did you have any?
Well, I didn't really get a sense of when he said that he wanted to stop crime. I kind of there were details of the law or the bill that he was trying to pass that the president was vetoing in this parody. But in general, like that to me sounded a little bit like quote unquote tough on crime rhetoric, which of course, as an avowed
criminal, you're pro-crime.
Criminal, I'm pro-crime.
Well, then you're gonna love the next one because this one was once a crime. This is another parody of the song. It's called "Sucker for Weed." This is P.O.D Productions. It's also so sick.
Okay, so it's just a guy doing a burnout in like an old Corvette?
Yep. This is a crazy burnout.
It's insane.
I was blazing a little bit.
Let's go.
It got me higher than I'd like to admit.
So it's a guy GoProing himself while he snowboards. And now he's surfing.
And now he's surfing.
That's when I knew I was starting to trip. I'm stoned, don't know what
and now
to
he's like
do.
Kite surfing or whatever.
Everyone's watching,
I think he's wakeboarding.
I got to be cool. My mind is playing with me. But that's okay, cause I'm a sucker for weed.
Oh my god.
Hell yeah.
Oh hell yeah. Okay, that
This
was
was basically the lifestyle I was describing when I was talking about why I know about Jeeps in punk news.
yeah.
But he's living it.
That one was fucking badass. That was so cool. And I
That
think
was so sick.
Now we're ready to get into the real Cubs, and I think we're gonna have a wonderful time. Let's start with the Nightcore Dino. Let's just get us in the right frame of mind.
I can't. You think it'd be better at this speed? I don't know.
I feel like if you're gonna do it at this speed, it should have like breakcore drums on it or something. Go crazy with it. The bass sounds pretty sick though. It's not great, but okay, let's start with some people who are like kind of more famous doing it. Starting with, of course, 311. They've covered.
Oh yeah, they did this when they did their co-headlining tour that I saw.
Oh really? Do you like 311?
Yeah, it was like I like a couple of 311 songs.
It seems like kind of a meme to like them, doesn't it? Like, I feel like it seems like liking Sublime is more sincere than liking 311.
I think they're also like so much bigger in the States, like that it's harder for us to gauge.
Right. Whoa, that sounds Nightcore still.
Is that like the rapper? Does the rapper sing now?
I mean, it's
pretty great.
I hate it. It's awful. And also with this video, it looks like dog shit. I hate this design, but I also think it's really funny. I don't know if you've seen the new Nickelback album cover, but it is this exact design. Like they're trying to do
awesome.
They're trying to be like boogie down van guys, like that vibe, but they've fucked it up so bad. It looks like shit.
That's awesome.
Kind of, we'll maybe hear some horny covers of it later, but as a teaser, another band we've heard of doing it is Real Big Fish. They've combined it with their song Beer.
Oh, great song.
I think I officially like hate ska again though.
You're not allowed to. You're not allowed to say that, man.
he talking about me?
Just look at this
What'd he say?
fucking. There's so much mutton chops on the stage.
Things. Mean. I'm sure it was very nice. Johnny Christmas, everybody, the nicest guy in ska!
There's a guy called Johnny Christmas in the band. Like, this is too much for me.
Maybe he's guesting.
Where were we? Oh, yes. Rode around for the 10th time today. Practiced all the things
Especially
I would
when
say.
bands like Real Big Fish slow it down. It sounds so nasty to me.
I lost my nerve.
Do you like how this sounds?
I made a decision.
I do. I think it's great.
You're lying. You're trying to push my
I think
buttons.
it's so good.
That's okay because I like the obvious.
No.
Now I know she's playing with me.
It's hard to sing.
That's okay because I got no self-esteem.
Do the horns ever?
Beer that doesn't have horns in it. Really.
All right.
Like not big horn parts.
That's enough. That's enough of that. Okay, up next is
Beer's
another
good. That's a great tune.
another band I've heard of but never heard, which is normally what you would say when you're trying not to be a poser. But I think this makes me cool to have never heard the band called Vanna, American hardcore
It's like
band
a metalcore band
from
right?
Boston,
Oh, well.
formed in 2004, ended in 2017. Screamo, metalcore, post-hardcore, with some songs showing emo. So this is how it's differentiated. They've changed over time from screamo to metalcore to post-hardcore, with some songs showing emo or melodic metalcore elements. This band was on
wow. So
Epitaph
varied.
and Pure Noise. But like, have you heard this band? Like what?
No, this I think it's like an alt press kind of band.
Yeah, it's like some shit that definitely both of us were absolutely too cool for forever. But they've covered this song for some reason, for some kind of Pure Noise thing, and they've used like VHS aesthetics on here. Vanna Alt. Yeah, they're like moving around like. I gotta hit the G chats here for a second.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, they're probably like there's probably people in the pod who are maybe friends with them. Well, you can tell
Yes!
you can tell them to fuck off for this. Look at that guy's hair also. Dude, can you see? He has like a little man bun, tiny one with like
Yeah.
the samurai cut and a big swoop in front. He's like doing 3 hairstyles at once. This is basically what was that band called?
Sick.
Culture Abuse or something? That's what they sounded like to me.
Yeah.
Oh, this is nasty as hell. Oh. This is from 2015. They did a whole album called Alt.
This is so bad.
They covered-
This is like a cover album.
Yeah, they covered Beautiful People, Zero, Got the Life, Fuel. It's mortifying.
I would love to hear their Fuel. You know that it's fucking disgusting.
Okay, fine. If you want to spend more time on this episode, I'm all for it. We're going all in today. Except that I can't find it. I can only why don't we hear their Corn actually, because that's got to be fucked. In honor of our guest this week.
Okay.
Let's hear their Corn.
Yeah.
Like also, why did they not really try to add anything to? They just tried to like cover the songs.
Yeah,
They didn't really do anything.
they just made them all a little more boring and disgusting.
I can't wait to hear the vocals.
I don't like this. Truly is like the worst kind of music,
It really is. It's just like
and like listened to by like I just can't understand. I can't understand liking this fucking music. Like imagine liking this.
I know. It's
I say that as someone who's fully aware that we have a Blink-182 podcast.
He's just doing the actual.
Blink-182 is defensible.
It's not even like becoming.
fucking hate this
It's
song.
not even like punk goes. It's just doing. This is like indifferent. This is no different than like seeing a cover band at like Morgan's Pub or whatever. Okay, I found it for you, just for you, my buddy. They open with a.
Give me fuel, give me fire, give me that which I deserve.
Every member of this band looks like a different Yellow Wolf in a different era of his life. They're probably gonna kill us now. Well, it'll be worth it. We'll be martyrs for taste.
So I really like that even in their like practice space or whatever, they have like the fucking wall of lying amps that are not plugged in, like just. It's like this like Kiss shit, man.
Every single one
of these stacks are all plugged in.
These guys all use their money from Pure Noise to each open a different barbershop somewhere that has a X logo with a fucking curly ass comb mustache thing. Okay,
it's gotta be tough. Like, which member of Vanna cuts your hair? You know.
So let's move on to something that's, I think, pretty awful still, but in a different way. This is Yannick Thibault. The band is called Amasic. This has tons of views, so I'm sure someone's heard of this before. This is a kind of an interesting take on it. Speaking of haircuts, the singer kind of has like Muse hair. Oh, they have Muse on the wall in the practice space.
But like, what am I looking at?
What do you mean?
Well, it's like, it almost has like Teens in the Basement energy.
I know.
But it's like Teens in the Basement with like several racks of guitars.
With 350,000 subscribers, 500,000 views on this.
And practiced all the things I would say. But she came
This is so fucking uncomfortable, singing right into here.
Yeah, so much eye contact. And I can't tell if he's like 11 or
40,
21. You know, yeah. It's so disconcerting.
She's playing with me. That's okay, 'cause I got no self-esteem.
Yannick Thibault, lead singer of the rock band Story Untold, who were signed to Hopeless Records. Oh, he's French Canadian. That's kind of cool.
Yannick Thibault.
I mean, yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I don't want to be saying this out loud, but this is what it had energy of to me.
There's a lot of, there's a lot of really vital stuff happening in the G-chat here in this episode.
Okay, up next, I don't know who this is either, but she seems to be someone. Her name is K-Flay. Do you know who K-Flay is?
Okay, the only thing I know about K-Flay is that K-Flay is like, I think she's a rapper, and she's always doing things with the Arkells.
Oh, sick! Wait,
like,
is she?
I feel like every Arkell song is like featuring K-Flay.
Well, K-Flay is not even Canadian. That's great. So some struggle American has found Canada's shittiest, most hated band, and they team up. I don't think I've ever heard of Arkells, actually.
This wow, I mean, we should do a React video. I mean, it is a thing that people like used to do, right? Is you I mean, the same way that like Canadians have to go abroad to get famous before anyone takes them seriously here. But in general, like with it's like Backstreet Boys and like they used to do this all the time. Is you'd like teach your band how to be famous in Canada because it's kind of like America, but no one gives a fucking shit. So maybe that's what K-Flay is doing. It's like the Backstreet Boys method.
Like
K-Flay,
right? Like K-Flay was trying to maybe host the Much Music Video Awards or something, or like present.
Yeah. K-Flay has absolutely hosted the Much Music Video Awards. I just assumed K-Flay was Canadian.
I mean, this is gonna help your case because this is some Canadian as fuck shit. It's so bad. Oh my god, it's so bad. K-Flay, I'm sorry. K-Flay also a 1985 baby, so we shouldn't be too.
I wrote her off for the 10th time today.
10th time today.
And practiced all the things I would say. But she came over.
Oh wow, she signed to Dan Reynolds' record label.
Oh, let's go. Well, Dan's been leaving me on red, so he can go fuck himself. Imagine Dragons is cringe. I've decided.
I'm being
Wow. The new you is like so cruel. Like hate Blink-182 and Dan Reynolds, man.
Yeah, I do.
You have changed. I agree with everyone who doesn't like you anymore.
Oh my god. I think it comes in. No, maybe not. Oh, here we go.
Like, I recognize that, like, I described covering this song earlier, but I just can't imagine, like, we've seen it, like, this and even, like, the Vanna one where they're, like, really serious or, like, I'm capturing something about this song. It's just, like, that doesn't feel what this song is for. Like, I just can't imagine being, like, I really want to, like,
Buddy,
cover a song.
We're just getting started. All right. Trust
Okay,
me.
right.
Here's Lana Shea. Kind of same vibe, singing in cursive, kind of goo goo gaga shit. On some goo goo gaga shit. Gotta get ready for it. This is Lana Shea. I already said that. Lana Shea Kicks It is the name of the channel.
Wrote him off for the 10th time today. Practiced all the things I would say.
I mean, it sounds nice, but
Yeah, this is actually good.
I just wish it wasn't this song because it's fucking me up how nasty it is. Made him desired.
I know that I'm being used. That's okay because
Yeah, this is
I
good.
like the abuse. And whoa, I know it's playing with me, but
Whoa.
it's okay 'cause I got low
We should do an episode like that. Turn the gain really high and be like, oh, welcome to...
We did a whole ASMR episode.
I know, and yet no one listens to that shit. Dig in there, everyone. There's all kinds of shit waiting for you.
That's
All
true.
kinds of untold nightmares behind the paywall. You think this is bad? You want to see an untold nightmare? Actually, I actually can't tell if this one's a joke or not. I think it's not, but it's trying to be scary, but it kind of seems like a sketch. This is someone named Delaney Gibson doing a cover of Self-Esteem by the Offspring. There's like someone in a forest running scared.
Oh yeah, so like a story music video. And here we are, just after Halloween. Oh
I
wow!
know. Yeah, exactly. I don't think this is a joke. I'm pretty sure. It's an indie artist from Austin, Texas, Delaney Gibson. Multi-hyphenate, creative heavyweight. Kind of cool to be a multi-hyphenate.
It doesn't seem. I mean, I'm definitely not laughing. What the fucking?
I guess it's...
There's
just
just
like-
like running through the woods, like in a nightgown kind of thing or whatever.
There's people with like dollar store goat masks. I think it's because
And the woman singing is like in like Marilyn Manson kind of like dope show era makeup.
but now she's covered in blood. I think it's because the lady who was kidnapped is reacting like she's scared, but she kind of seems like she's like a stand-in for the audience who is like cringing at the music more.
What? Okay, so
It's like zero budget
Again.
Zola Jesus.
yes.
I don't know, man. That's like fuck. And also, it seems like all of this person's other songs are just like straightforward country songs. Like, why would you do this?
Incredible. So you do post the videos that go up on Twitter at some point. You should follow the pod on Twitter because, like, I think already I know the thread for this episode is going to be
It's gonna be insane.
stupendous. Yeah.
Oh, so much work ahead of me that I've made for myself. It's incredible. Okay, Veronica Maggio. This one's kind of a funky little acousty, is what I wrote down. There's some interesting, like, funky vibes in here.
I mean, the song is kind of funky. I like this.
I wrote him off for the
Yep.
10th time today.
This is good.
Practiced all the things I would say.
What does this sound like?
He came over.
Nelly Furtado,
I
kinda.
lost my nerve. I took him
Yeah.
back
Wasn't promiscuous, like, as a Canadian, wasn't Promiscuous Girl, like, the weirdest thing ever? Because you knew Nelly Furtado as being this kind of person?
Yeah, this was like the first Nelly Furtado album.
Yeah, I'm just a bird.
I know he's playing with me. Oh, that's okay because I got no self-esteem. Oh, yeah.
Oh, this is good. There was some Nelly Furtado after this.
We make plans, go out at
All right, let's keep going. This is cello and acoustic. This is Jesse Almon, Montana cellist. This kind of has the, I can see your Eagle Eye Cherry mash.
Right? Another great song. I mean, it's about as punk as this song. So
Yeah, we
really
could do it. I mean, there's no end date for the pod, so.
Oh, yeah.
I wrote her off for the 10th time today.
Somehow I think
Practiced all the things I would
in this context, the incel vibes become worse for some reason to me.
I lost
At least with the Nana and Boo Boo tone, it's more upfront.
Yeah.
I don't know, it's weird.
I'm just too distracted by how much he's really vibing on that cello.
Yeah, he's killing it. He's the star of the show.
Like, if these guys are cells, they're Vol cells. Like, you see that cello going, man? Like,
Well, he's a vault cell.
wow.
We're cooking, baby. We're cooking tonight here on the pod. And this is, I'm really excited about this band. They're called Jekyll and Hyde New Jersey Band. They're a bunch of kids playing outside, and they're having a great time. I mean, a lot of the teens this week seem like they are Degrassi bands.
Oh my God.
Something you might not have noticed about Jekyll and Hyde NJ Band is that they do have a full-time violinist.
Everybody. And it did right before we
Oh, wow, I almost missed that. The guitar player has a top hat.
He's so Joey
This all feels
Jeremiah.
insanely Degrassi.
All right. Well, this song we're about to play is by Offspring, Self-Esteem.
He's wearing the same flannel and t-shirt as the violinist. Wait, they're all wearing the same t-shirt. Oh my God, do they have a troll face?
Smash.
Their t-shirt has a troll face with a top hat, I think.
Oh,
Ready?
that's good. And they're all wearing flannel, but they just didn't match their flannels.
They're so
Bring that violin in.
This is 10 years ago.
Oh man, bass players so rarely get an opportunity to shine. I feel like every bass player is having a good moment here. Oh wow. Say.
This is like this is the kind of teen band you see in a document. Like, this is the kind of bands that get signed to major labels, I feel like, is what I'm trying to say.
Oh, for sure.
Like this, if this
yeah.
was Greta Van Fleet or something, I wouldn't be surprised at all.
You know, they've just had it. They've just had it since the beginning.
Whoa, they're harmonizing.
Oh wow.
So cool.
The harms of the violin, and it's like fall vibes. They're surrounded by bales of hay and pumpkins.
This has like Mike Schur energy also.
Yeah.
I also love that there's a violin and you just can't hear it at all. So
I know.
good.
We gotta put up the violin in the mix for sure. That's my one note.
You know, we're on such a good vibe right now. I want to show you someone who's just here for vibe reasons alone because his name is Nuclear Jeff. He's so sick.
Wow.
Dude,
Okay,
Nuclear Jeff.
Nuclear Jeff is in an all-white room with a massive speaker, like a single speaker.
Nuclear Jeff is so fucking sick.
Nuclear Jeff's whole vibe fucking rocks.
Nuclear Jeff doesn't give a fuck. Electric guitar, Jackson DX10D with cheap strap, guitar amp, Marshall MG15 CDR, pedal, none. I'm from San Pascal, Batangas, Philippines. This one's punk. If you want other rock genres, check out my other videos. Fuck yeah, Nuclear Jeff.
Nuclear Jeff, baby. Nuclear Jeff is just so good. It's like Murder Bryan. It's just good.
Exactly. This next one is uploaded by Dookie. I already forget how to say it, but it's with 2 zeros. Now, this is the Offspring Self-Esteem live cover at the Beacon. And it says, recorded, this is from 2 months ago. Live cover at the Beacon while drunk. Share and like. So he wants us to share and like this. So we'll see. I guess there's no comments. It has 31 views. I'm not sure where the Beacon is. It doesn't really look particularly great as a restaurant, but I mean, it's fine, probably.
Yeah.
It's completely empty, the restaurant. It kind of seems like the Wheatus guy a little bit.
Yeah. Empty bar karaoke.
Oh yeah, this guy loves to do... Oh, he's in Canada.
Oh shit.
Where's the Beacon, you think?
Just in Canada. Oh man, okay. So maybe it's in Wasaga Beach because it looks like all his other videos are, again, live covers, which are just karaoke songs that he's singing at bars. Like he did All the Small Things.
Dude, this guy's fucking tight, actually. This is really important, actually. I'm gonna have to retweet this on one of the pod accounts. I'm not sure which one, but he did get a tattoo that he tweeted at Blink-182. It's "I miss you" tattoo, but it's the Blink-182 logo with the Jack and Sally skeleton, like from Nightmare Before Christmas. And I think it's a sticker. Dude, this guy's so tight. This is crazy.
Rules.
I'm retweeting it on both.
Yeah, you got to do it. Hold on, what?
You're trying to figure out where the Beacon is?
Yeah, I'm having some internet problems for some fucking reason.
Oh, and Finn McGintley just announced he's having a kid. Congrats, Finn.
Oh, Finn McGintley.
You know, we've had our differences over
Breaking
the years.
news here on the pod.
You won't respond to our invites, but we wish you nothing but the best.
I'm literally getting a thing that keeps saying Google is blocked, like when I actually search.
Maybe this
but it does. I've reached my limit on Google. What the fuck is happening?
There is Beacon Restaurant Wasaga Beach, right? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, Wasaga. Wasaga's like the fucking. I mean, it burned down. That's not really the same sense, but like Wasaga is just like the tragic Ontario version of like Daytona Beach or whatever, in the same way that like Niagara Falls is like the saddest possible version of like Las Vegas, just like in a horrible town in southern Ontario.
Well, according to TripAdvisor, the Beacon Restaurant in Wasaga Beach is a horrible place, right? Ms. Taylor, 70. Very slow service, very loud and obnoxious waitstaff having their own conversation, burnt vegetables, hair in food, no attempt to make it right, no tip left. But they do have karaoke, so kind of, you know.
Here's the thing. I mean, you just can't not tip, so I feel like I'm probably on. It's got 4 stars on Google, so that's pretty good.
It does say on the wall behind our friend, the singer Dookie, it says "Freakin' at the Beacon" on the wall. That's pretty cool.
Unfortunately, this is a 1-star review from D-Tap of the Beacon from 3 months ago. It was like entering the Twilight Zone. Thought for a minute I was on a hidden camera show. I guess probably names one of the servers, is hands down one of the weirdest people I have ever encountered working at a restaurant. He openly hated being there. We were greeted with, warning, the service is going to be terrible today. When we asked if they were getting ready to close 2 or 3 p.m. or so, he replied, no, but I wish. Beautiful attitude. We ordered drinks twice, never received one. Apparently, quote unquote, a lot happened in the 3 minutes he was away from the table. Second time around, still not a drink to be seen. This guy was rude, abrupt while the entire time making faces like a baby with a big load in his diaper. He walked out without ever seeing a menu. Person's name, go change your pad, my man. It's not our fault. Your girlfriend broke up with you. Not something we ever needed to know about. However, I don't blame her. Yo, we gotta go to the Beacon.
We gotta go. This is a different night. Our same friend. I just want to hear a little bit. Well, he does a really good tom.
Yeah.
All right, let's go down the highway.
Almost all of the negative reviews literally call out this one server by name. Very rude and unprofessional.
What's the name? You can just type it. We can add it to the G chat tier if you don't want to.
Yeah, it's G chat tier. I'm just not here to dox the people working hard at the Beacon. You know.
Yeah, or not working hard. Who cares? Fuck the Beacon. It's about the workers.
Yeah, I mean, fuck work. Yeah.
So this person, I found the tattoo on their Twitter where they've also linked all of their YouTube videos, including videos called ALS Ice Bucket Challenge, of course, How to Launder Money, the Cocaine Challenge, and challenge is spelled with an S instead of an A. Someone leave some dares for me and my bestie for YouTube. You'll be in my video. Want to see me get shot? I get shot again?
I will say, I do feel like this is like true Southern Ontario culture. Like this is the people who live year round in Wasaga Beach. Like,
dude, this
God
is
bless.
what the song sounds like. Is this culture? So
yeah.
I also found an hour long.
This song sounds like living in Wasaga Beach year round.
I also found an hour-long Wasaga Beach small business meeting set at the restaurant. But let's move on. Let's go up the highway to Montreal to Foufs, where we can see the Offspring tribute band Bad Habit perform Self-Esteem.
You been to Foufs a lot lately?
Nope. I feel like I only want to go there with you.
Well, maybe. Oh wow, this band has like a banner. Montreal cover bands, man.
Yeah, it's crazy.
It's on a whole other tip. I feel like people in the audience are like.
I'm like scared of this level of French Canadian
really
culture.
Antagonistic vibe. They're losing this audience.
Dude, just wait though.
Why do they all have so many pedals? They're an Offspring cover band.
It seems like the singer has pedals.
Am I crazy, or did he just sort of pick a key to sing it in?
Yeah, it was way off.
It's a different key, yeah.
Everyone's going crazy for this shit. The comments are complaining that he doesn't sing the song, and they're like, I came here to hear you sing, not the audience, which I think is a funny complaint.
I mean, he's really not doing it.
He doesn't sing at all. He's
He never sings.
heard half of a line. But anyways, that was Bad Habit, the Offspring tribute from Montreal. So congrats to them.
Great.
We're kind of in like a stinky, nasty, gross, the grody zone right now. So I thought maybe this one. No, it's gonna stay gross for a second actually. But this is a good kickoff for it. This is Bernie. Well, I guess we don't need to read his last name, but this is a guy playing a guitar cover on a mattress with no sheets on it, which I just thought was kind of perfect. This fits the vibe of the song to me so well.
For sure. God, what a fucking haunting image.
It's so. Is there is that a crib or like a soft crib, like a nursery? Are those called nurseries? Oh no, there's two cribs.
It looks like it's like it looks like there's a mobile for sure. A mobile.
Yeah. Oh,
Bring me on
he
my
put his
mobile.
backwards hat on in the break.
Yes.
Yeah, it's like so fucked looking. I mean, respect, you know? I just feel like, are you doing laundry or did someone just like, for some reason I feel like someone
You just
died.
sleep on it like that.
Someone
Yeah.
died and there's no sheets on it because someone died in the sheets is what I'm thinking. It's based on the sort of vibe of the video. So that's kind of scary. I don't know about that. But so let's keep watching some scary, bad vibe ones. This is Rouse music. This one is really cute. It seems like it kind of reminds me of that meme where it's like muscle men typing to a nerd. Because the one guy's like fucking
really,
ripped.
yeah.
And then the other, there's like a kid. It's like a dork and then like a ripped muscle man. And like this might be even like a Big Brother kind of scenario. So this is from this year. It says, I think the high volume of the amps is reducing the quality of the recording. Like the mic is not sure what to pick up on, is what he says. So, so there's a muscle man and kind of younger, kind of a little bit dorkier. I mean, he's cool. He seems cool, but I think, he has a giant Darth Vader head in his room. This has got to be that kid's room, not the muscle man's room, because the muscle man probably just has like different powdered proteins in his room, I think.
Yeah, what is the deal?
I don't know what this is.
Uncle, nephew, like
Maybe it's a guitar
muscle
teacher?
beam guy. No, but like the uncle, like is them. It's not like if they were like really good.
It's so weird. It's such a fucking bizarre.
He has like the Giga Chad beard too.
Why is everything so quiet? You can hear the actual strings rather than the amp. And then he's kind of singing. He sounds like Joe from Family Guy.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like I don't even know like what to feel about this one. I think it's incredible. I think it's beautiful. There's something really special here.
I want to know. I feel like there's a story here because like even in the description, it's like this is a fun song to play. Jonathan transcribed the bass parts, beginning of the verse to guitar because we don't have a bass or a bass player yet.
They've done a whole bunch. They've done Chris Isaac, Nirvana, Survivor, Nickelback, Johnny Cash, Green Day, Godsmack. I mean, they've done all kinds of stuff. Oh, it's a father and son. It is truly a father and son.
That's so nice.
They have such different vibes, though.
But that's what I love is like this is clearly a dad who's like, all right, this is what you're into. Like, cool, we're in a band together now. Like, he looks so uncomfortable and unnatural, and it's the sweetest thing. It's so
really
fucking
cute.
sweet.
It's so cool. Rouse music. I hope he doesn't snap me in half. I hope I didn't say something mean because he's very ripped, and I think he's really cute with his son. So,
it's so yeah. Like this is insanely sweet.
It's so really good. Nice. I love it. It's really cute. Okay, moving on.
Like I'm just looking at like I don't even want to play this, but it's like this just looking at this video of like them covering Garth Brooks, and he's not even the dad is not even playing guitar. He's just singing so soulfully.
Yeah,
I love it.
It's true. This is a very present Chad father, which is really nice. To
Yeah,
see. This channel just
Look
shows
the size of his fucking watch.
It's like, oh my god! Like what would even this guy's job be? Like I feel like he would just. I don't even know. Like he's some sort of hybrid bouncer / club owner or something, or does he run a car dealership? He's so ripped. He's so fucking ripped.
He's so fucking ripped. It's hilarious.
He's so good. All right, let's move along to this.
He's meme ripped for sure.
Yeah, he does. It literally is the meme of those two things. So that's so cute to know that they're father and son. God bless them. All right, this is what I describe as a loud, wet room. The next few are very wet looking. And this is, they've said it's a fail, but I think they would have added that after, maybe. I don't know why they're so spread out in this cavernous.
It's so schoolroom, like abandoned schoolhouse.
Hello.
I don't even think it is a fail, because I think the big, wet jail sound of it fits the song really well. I don't know when the vocals come in. I can't tell if they're gonna. Is someone gonna start belting it out? That'd be so sick. Oh, you can see the cameraman's forearm or something. I don't know. Like this looks like it's like a post-apocalyptic abandoned school that has a bunch of
Yeah, it
practice
looks like a
amps in
school
it.
that kids break into in a horror movie. It's just very strange.
It's very odd vibes. All right, this one is similarly just quite, I guess, haunted seeming. This is by Ryan. It's the Offspring Self-Esteem cover.
All right, folks, this is Self-Esteem by the Offspring, performed by me, Ryan, and Matt Nicholson. And he's the moose ears over here.
They must be Canadian.
All right, shoot.
This is somehow 8 minutes long. Oh, and it's the only video on this channel.
Tonight, right?
Yeah, totally.
Fight the break of dawn, come tomorrow. Tomorrow I'll be gone. There's a log on the fire, and it burns like me for you.
So wait, did you? I do love how blown out this is. Did you? This is hurting my brain so much I can't think. I need to skip ahead and see how it's possibly 8 minutes long.
Yeah.
Did you? Well, what song is this again? It's what?
It's so hard to listen to.
Wait, was it?
Oh, it's Maroon 5.
That's not a description. They just they're like broken Android sounding ass. And the lighting in this is just mortifying. Like this looks
It's
like
really
Zero Dark
fucking
30.
spooky.
Yeah. I was gonna ask you, did you do the music of the Offspring with the Eagle Eye Cherry lyrics, or did you do Eagle Eye Cherry music and sing the Offspring?
I'm sort of offended that you're asking. Like, what was the primary? Obviously, we were covering Eagle Eye Cherry. It's like you don't know anything about me.
No, I do, but I feel like you just want to. The way that you just sang it so well on top of that song, I feel like you really you should have just done Eagle Eye Cherry. Like I just can't even picture what would have been left of the Offspring in there. You know what I mean?
I think we were just like did mostly Eagle Eye Cherry and then did a bit of do and then like, you know, one verse back into Eagle Eye Cherry.
I see. I gotcha.
But like the primary, I would say was like an 80-20 Eagle Eye Cherry.
No, you shouldn't be offended because that's why I'm asking, because I knew that you just covered Eagle Eye Cherry. That's what I'm trying to say.
You knew that I was going to give you the right answer. Yeah,
exactly. All right, this is the last kind of wet seeming one to me. This is a very wet uke man named Greg.
When I was like looking up, wow, this guy's wet. When I was looking up stuff for the front half of the episode, one of the things that I saw was like literally like, oh, what? This man is all tongue when he sings. Like,
it's so good. Beautiful voice, though. Not really what you expect.
He just has like the most unique hair and beard combo I've ever seen.
Yeah. But like a beautiful... It's not even a falsetto. It's like a true setto. He's got a true set of pipes on him, is what it is.
I kind of like it.
It's so nice. It's kind of mournful.
Yeah.
I think he has some kind of anime
feel like it's coming
figure.
from like a very sweet place.
It almost seems medieval. Maybe it's because of his hair, but
it's yeah. I think just like his hair and beard look very like Monty Python.
If I was like the king
like
sitting in the
Grail.
throne and he came henceforth towards me to perform this, I wouldn't. What do the kings do to the ones they don't like? Have them killed or something? I wouldn't do that.
I think so.
I would give him some of my fruit or whatever, some grapes. I would love to feed this guy grapes. What were you saying earlier about the first half of the episode? Something?
Just that I saw like uke instructions, like, you know, here, like really high in the search results was like ukulele self-esteem how to.
How to? Dude, we should do like, I guess it would have to be Blink now, but we should do uke lessons together behind the paywall. What if we became ukers?
Oh, I really did. Like, I think the temperature's dropping, you know, it was pretty warm out today, but like I shivered. I had a very genuine, involuntary, full body shiver when you said that.
At the thought of that? I think
it wasn't the thought of it. I think it was just I'm saying it like I'm not trying to be melodramatic. Like the house is sort of getting colder, and I think maybe just
like, was it a shiver of like divine inspiration? You think like you really want to do it
like,
so badly?
That's exciting. I was like, I'm shivering. So yeah, that's what I meant.
This guy's shirt says "I have issues," which is one of the main reasons I included it. But this is Second Sight is the name of the band. Interesting filter on here on the camera.
Yeah, what the fuck is this?
These guys seem like gamers too. I think gamers like the Offspring, probably.
I feel, yeah, the Crazy Taxi thing really. So these guys are like in the bedroom. We've got a Marvel poster, a Green Day poster that's from like an era that I can't identify.
I think Warning, maybe. It seems like a bootleg Warning poster.
Yeah. The singer has a shirt that says "I have issues" on it.
They both kind of seem like they're like late 20s.
Yeah.
But in the bedroom of a 14-year-old. He's singing it real alternative like.
Yeah. He kind of has, like, he sings the way Seth Green talks.
Yes, that's very.
Did you not see some Seth Green saying something wacky?
Yeah, that's so true. Well, this guy actually, the next guy kind of maybe visually reminds me of my favorite Family Guy impersonator on YouTube. But he's just doing a vocal cover. This is Flare Hearts doing a cover of it. Kind of reminds me of the guy that does the Family Guy Uptown Funk cover. This one I almost didn't include, but then I was like, transparent honesty. I like that he just smacks his lips between each line. It's so sick.
She came over, I lost my nerve. Took her back.
The little kisses are so cool.
Made her dessert. I know
It's a sick
I'm
move.
being used. That's okay, cause I gonna like the abuse.
I love that. It's so cool.
So
Vocal
good.
cover. So sick. I feel like the thing is, even if it's like cheesy or, bad or whatever, Sam's been saying some pretty mean stuff as usual this week. But if it's, no matter what it's like, I feel like everyone feels like the biggest badass in the world when they're singing this song. It's like, it just makes you feel.
Yeah.
You just
it fills you with like, yeah, totally.
This is uploaded by someone named Ska Bob. This is Reggae on the Rocks.
Let me hear you, Arlington.
Let me hear you, Arlington. They're in silence. This one's tight, though, compared to the Real Big Fish.
Yeah, see, like 311, yeah.
Oh, wait, there's like skanking going on and like hippie dancing.
Oh, wow.
There's like hippies and skankers together at last. This is insane. This is like the most fucked cover section. The Offspring is really delivering the good.
The fucking audience.
This seems like it. I hope this is from like 19. This seems like it predates the actual song. The look of it.
I know.
It's from 2012. Oh, and it's Arlington, Washington for Seattle Ska Fest.
Oh, what?
How is this 2012? There's no way life looked like this in 2012.
How is there an Arlington in Washington?
Everything is fucked up. I'm feeling weird, really weird. All right, so this leads us into a few little genre explorations. I promise you, we're almost through this painful exercise. This is someone named.
This has been I thought it was going to be just bad, but that is not what's happened here.
I mean, I think it has been quite bad, also, but it's been other things too. That's the thing about this journey we go on every week is that it's it's everything. We're experiencing everything everywhere all at once. This is a guy named George Pausley. And he's a real cool cowboy. Check him out.
Good day and welcome to the music room. Here's another request. This is my interpretation of a song by The Offspring called Self-Esteem.
So George Pausley, he's like a fucking sick, old country and western looking guy in his like den. And it just is, everything about it is like perfect old country guy. But what I especially like about it is I was expecting it to be like some smooth Willie Nelson vibes, but instead it's just kind of like sloppy.
La 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 la.
He's just like shredding
This is so real. It's so real.
Exactly. It's like, because he almost looks like he'd be one of those like YouTube characters trying to milk being like a weird old guy. But instead he's just like a cool folk rocker.
This guy rules.
He's so sick.
He kind of reminds me just like vibe-wise of like the French Canadian guy that we keep seeing.
Yeah, it totally.
Just, like sings karaoke. Yeah.
Except also, like, usually guys like this is, like, funny or naive or something, but he's actually just, like, singing his heart out. It's kind of beautiful. Oh, so sick. George Pausley. Everyone check him out. So along those lines, this one is kind of a more hillbilly type of thing. This is Steve and the Seagulls And these guys have like 1 million views, and they're like dressed the part. I don't know how I feel about this one, but we'll see.
This was like in the Wikipedia. This is like a popular band.
Yeah, I don't know about this. Seems a bit like this is the kind of like put on YouTube shit that George Postley was not doing in the previous.
Yeah, no, they're like a Finnish country band. So they're like, I think they're YouTube famous.
Na 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 na.
The guy wearing a funny hat just ran in to perform with them. It's too. I mean, they're pretty tight musically, but
yeah, unfortunately, I just wish I wasn't looking at them.
It's just like kind of it's try hard, whereas George previously was not trying at all. He was just singing from his heart, you know? It's like
yeah, he didn't care if the camera was on.
Exactly.
He was going to be covering that song either way.
So I was wondering if you've ever wondered if the song was covered in the style of heavy metal. Well, that's what Portraits have done here. A band called Portraits.
This is better than the Phantom.
Oh, I hate that bass tone. It's so stupid.
It's pretty silly. What fucking... I feel like it's all happening in different keys.
I know, and I couldn't... This sounds almost like a down-tuned... This is the actual studio recording, isn't it? Or is it not?
You're right, yeah, that's like... I don't think so.
It's so confusing.
Oh, it's really unpleasant to listen to. Very difficult.
Is there a worse genre than YouTube metal? Well, there might be. It could be this band called Vanilla Funk, which is, I think, the winner of the week. Absolutely. The singer is so stanky with it. This is some insane shit right here. Vanilla Funk. I think if you read their email address, it'll explain everything.
When she came over, I lost my nerve. I took her back and I made her deserve.
That's what it is. Contact with 2Ks at vanillafunk.de.
Okay.
Like, what these people look like almost can't be explained.
Well, they look like the sort of, I guess, Dutch people, like, who would form a funk band, and just to be clear, they're all white, called Vanilla Funk.
The singer is insane.
We make plans to go out at night.
He's doing he's doing some Amanda Marshall hands. He's doing melty face.
If she kills it all, I just might tell her so.
This is one of the worst things I've ever seen over in my entire life.
So bad. I don't think I can stop this one, honestly.
No, because like the fact that now it's like reggae. What the fuck?
A Willie. The more you suffer,
Also, what is with his shirt? It looks like he like cut out an N and glued it on, and it made the rest of it scrunch up.
They have they have a banner and stuff with their fucking with a QR code on it.
It's so sick. Marcel Nitzinger, vocals. If you want to book us or you have any other kind of inquiries, just write us a message. This is from 2020, so.
Man, how do you think their funk cover of Sunday Bloody Sunday is?
You want to drop it in? Be my guest.
No, I think I'm good. I think I could conjure.
Well, you know what?
Eye.
I knew that we would need a palate cleanser. This is one of the last ones I'm going to play. This is the Bad Rabbits bootleg. I think we need to cleanse ourselves from vanilla funk, and the only way you can do that is with French hardcore. There we go. There it is. That hits the spot right there. It's really weird that Dexter sounds so good on like Euro trash dance songs.
It is weird how appropriate it is in this context, right?
Like it's perfect. I love being able to see the waveform and see that it's like about 1 minute of riser happening right now.
Yeah. I feel like, if I were to go and watch this music being performed live, I would want to be able to see the. To me, that's part of the anticipation.
Exactly.
Watching the waveform.
There we go. There we go. That hits the spot. Yes. That's the good shit. So I thought, we've been on a journey. We've been fast. We've been slow. Let's check out this chopped and slowed version while we do our final thoughts. It's the chopped and slowed Self-Esteem from Jackal the DJ. It's quite chopped and quite slowed, honestly. I think my final thought is like, I straight up love the Offspring. After October and into this month, OffspriNovember, it's so sick. It's like ripping off a Band-Aid of all this mortifying internet content. I feel like Sam and I are more passive-aggressive to each other than ever. It's just so many new vibes happening. There's a lot
of shit happening. It's so good.
Yeah, I don't know. I really do love this song now. I thought I didn't. Every song, I think I don't like it, and then I love it after. How about you?
I mean, I'm coming into these songs like loving them, and then discovering that I love them more, and that I love them for like new reasons. And I just can't believe how great a band the Offspring is, and I'm so excited that we have a whole other month of November to go. And I look forward to our sniping sort of escalating into like real meaningful tension, hopefully by the end of the
He's been behind the paywall, but he's making his debut. He's coming out as a punker by coming on the show. It's our friend Murder Bryan. What's up, Brian?
I'm not a punker, okay? hate
We
it.
said it. We said it, so it's true.
Yeah.
We made you a punker.
Everything is punk now, unfortunately.
It's fake news. Fake. Actually, you know what? To tell you the truth,
Punk news.
I am a punker. Maybe more
there
now,
he is.
but
He admits it.
Clip that.
I don't think I understand punk because, like, I basically
No one
like.
does.
I basically like what I consider punk, which is garage rock. Like I like the Black Lips and stuff like that. You know what I mean?
Okay, yeah, that's
Maybe you're not.
maybe you're not. Maybe you're not.
Have I ever told you I performed at a we performed in Atlanta on a big tour that we did, and one of the Black Lips asked for a comp to get into the show, the Cole guy from the Black Lips. And, we had two people opening for us that were like, pretty left, and me and Brett were left. It was our leftist politics. The guy left 20 minutes into the show, and he said to the people at the front, he was like, I like my comedy a little more balanced. And I was like, yeah.
Oh my God, what? That's so good.
Maybe I like the Black Lips now. I've told this story on the pod before, but the band that I played, and we played Atlanta, this was like 10 and probably more than 10 years ago. And there was this just like wasted dude in the bar part of the venue. And then as we were loading out, he like got into our van and wouldn't leave. And it was like not funny. Like he was just this like drunk, annoying guy. And we were like, hey, like, we're in the middle of tour. We're fucking tired. It's like, you know what I mean? Like, it's not like a great crazy night. We're like, can you just like get out of our van, please? And he's like, no, I'm not. And then afterwards, like his friends who were not drunk and got him out of the van, they're like, really sorry, you just got back from tour. He's in this band, the Black Lips. And I was like, I fucking hate that. They're just annoying. They're the worst people in Atlanta.
It was one of the guys.
They
from
are.
The back. That's amazing. See,
The
normally
music's sick though.
Normally
The
when punk bands go on tour, they say get in the van. But when Sam goes on tour, he says get out of the van to people. That
right.
shows
That's
his
right.
level.
I'm just that punk. No, it's because I'm punking the punks, man.
I like them and King Khan. I like King Khan and,
King Khan
and
rocks.
barbecue, that kind of stuff. I've seen, King Khan
2009
and the
wave.
Shrine.
Bro, you got to catch
Yeah,
up. There's
I
other
love
shit
it.
going on. Specifically,
listen
this
to it
show.
now.
Nothing is good. There's actually the only thing that's good now is Machine Gun Kelly, and I am including new Blink-182 in that. It's only Machine Gun Kelly for me.
Well, I
from now
mean,
on.
I'm into right now. What I'm listening to more than anything is I'm back on Typo Negative. I'm an enormous Typo Negative / Danzig head. For the past like 3 years, I really got into Typo Negative, and I think they're my favorite band in the world now.
I've never heard them, but as a professional copywriter, I do agree that typos are negative.
Oh, come on.
Jesus Christ.
I have a blanket in my house. Of the lead singer of Typo Negative, Peter Steele, holding his big hog in his hand. Like
you have
he
a
did
blanket of it? What does that mean?
He did a Playgirl shoot, and somebody made a blanket of that picture.
Okay, I need you to send me a picture of this blanket. That's very sick.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's not in my living room. It's really comfortable. It has to be unfolded for people to know it's a guy with a New York fucking Queens guy with his massive hog.
So I wanted to start our interview by asking you, because there's something we tried to get you a few weeks ago.
Really nice. Oh no, that's it on a shirt, I guess. Oh, okay. Sorry. Go ahead.
Wait. Are you looking at his dick? I was like, did Brian?
No, I'm just looking at Peter Steele Playboy blanket, and so I'm looking at. I think it's the Playgirl. Playgirl. That'll probably help things.
What I really want to know, and Sam will know why. We're gonna get into it. I want to know. Growing up, how have you felt about the name Bryan, being named Bryan? Do you think it's a cool name? Do you feel like
no,
you don't like it?
I hate it. I hate having a name, period. You know what's fucking funny is
philosophical.
It's really interesting.
What's fucking funny is like people used to ask me what I wish my name was when I was growing up, and I wanted to be named Brett. And then I started working with Brett, and I couldn't, I'm not going to change my name, but that's the name I wanted my whole life.
And for those who don't know, you're talking
name.
about Street Fight, your podcast that you've had for a million years.
Yeah.
And so your co-host for a long time was named Brett. I mean, now that you're doing it solo, You could. What if you changed your name to Brett?
I'm not changing my
that's
name to
interesting.
Brett now. It's different. First of all, we just did a show together where I told you I hate it when people change their name. But I mean, and I'm not Kobe Dick. I'm not Jacoby Shaddix. I'm not famous or anything. But I do have a small following of people, and if I started telling them to call me something else, obviously there are reasons that people change their names, like if you're, trans people and stuff like that. But I'm not any of those things. So if I change my name, it would just be to be a pretentious dick, so I could never do it.
I don't know if you know this.
Sometimes
you're here to talk about The Offspring with us. And I don't know if you know this, but this is something we found out only a couple weeks ago because we're almost at this point trying to not learn anything about the artists we're talking about for some reason. But
it's an innovative approach.
We just found out a couple weeks ago. Did you know that the frontman of The Offspring, Dexter Holland, his real name is Bryan? And we were like, that. First of all, that's just, no offense, is not a very rock star name, Bryan.
No, he's Dexter Holland,
but
though.
you're changing it to Dexter. Like, you think Dexter is a better stage name than Bryan?
I don't know. I had to put murder in front of my name in order for it to be semi-cool. Dexter's not a great name. By the way, I just want to say I do a bonus podcast, and it's been a while since I've done one, but every once in a while we'll do a new season of this thing we call Buttfest 2000. We picked the name on the air because it's stupid, and it's about butt rock music. And I hadn't listened to a lot of this music for years. And then The Offspring. So there's like 3 bands that come up all the time. And The Offspring's one of the bands. The other band is Lit. And those two bands. And so if you had talked to me 3 years ago, if you had talked to me about this, I would have said I like The Offspring. But the more I learn about The Offspring, the more I don't like them.
Interesting, because I thought that I hated The Offspring, and every time I hear one of we'll put on their worst song, I'll be like, this kind of goes though. I kind of like it. But so what switch? And also because you're we've been talking to you all night about something, it'll come out in the future, but you're kind of grunge adjacent new metal guy. That's kind of your main thing, because you also are from the P.O.D. cast, who we've collaborated with before. So I kind of feel like The Offspring does make sense for you more than it does for a Blink-182 fan.
I never saw The Offspring as punk. Really? I feel like they sound like I don't. This is going to sound so stupid, but I feel like they sound a little bit like They sound a little bit like I'm trying to think, like classic rock, like Bad Company type stuff. To me, I don't know if that doesn't. It just feels like what they would want to be considered. I don't hear punk when I hear them at all.
Interesting. I mean, Sam, you know more about them, and you've kind of have always liked them and still love them at this point. Does that track with you?
Yeah, you know what? I think at this point in what is this month called right now?
The OffspriNovember is what we're doing.
I think there's a thing with some bands where because you came out of a punk scene, you are forever just perhaps lazily considered to be a punk band, and the Offspring are part of this moment of Southern California punk, and therefore, despite the fact that some of their biggest songs, like Self-Esteem, are not at all punk songs, and in fact just sound like bad Nirvana songs. Although people do think of Nirvana as being a punk band, so I don't know.
I know that doesn't make no sense. That doesn't make sense either, Sam. Nirvana.
Well, I feel like it's like people just want the things. If you like punk, you want the things that you like to be punk because it's such an important part of your identity. So well, if it's good, it's punk. Ooh, these movies, these are punk. What the fuck are you talking? What is a punk movie outside of Return of the Living Dead or whatever? So.
Cruella, I thought it was pretty punk.
Cruella, that's a very punk movie. Yeah, that's true.
I would say Rock and Roll High School probably is.
Yeah, there we go. So there's 3. They've made 3 punk movies, and that's.
I do want to say that the reason I stopped liking them or stop tolerating them is because we covered them in an episode. It was Equal Them and Lit, actually. And their songs are kind of racist. Like some of their early stuff is kind of racist. I don't think they intended to be racist, but I think from the beginning with number one, Come Out and Play, kind of racist. Pretty Fly for a White Guy, kind of racist. Mm-hmm. And then like the one you wanted me to talk about here, not racist, but very incel-ish.
It's true. Yeah, also it seems like they're maybe at best like secretly libertarian, but they could also be like the most famous conservative punk band, maybe.
No, they're Democrats. They are, because did you guys ever see the vaccine thing they did? They did like yeah. They got really famously, I can't remember what the song was, but it was about getting the vaccine. Oh, you gotta keep them vaccinated. They did that.
And then, is that why their drummer like got kicked out for being anti-vax or something?
Yeah. Maybe. Yes.
He did, yeah, because he was like, against freedom of thought, not very punk to, question authority anymore. It was one of those things.
So I thought it was, I get him mixed up with Dickie from the Boss Tones, who also got kicked out of his band for being anti-vax.
For being like an alt, but like full alt-right too. Like, I mean, not that, there's much daylight between those points of view.
He looks like not to take his side, but like he looks like
Dickie Barrett's side, or the drummer from the Offspring
Dickie
side.
Barrett looks like he would be like in a drug dealer in like a cartoon about Chester the Cheetah, like his world. Like, why do we want him to be the same politics as us? He's like a fucking ridiculous, like he's like a Dick Tracy character or something. Like,
yeah, some of the worst music. The Boss Tones is some of the worst music ever made.
You don't like ska core? I mean, they got it all. They got it all.
I got yelled at by people online for saying I hate ska, and then somebody, or Brett, my old co-host, ordered me a shirt that it's Skanking Pickle Rick. And it says Skanking Pickle, but it's Pickle Rick in the middle of the thing. And I would wear it to the gym sometimes, but I fucking was just like, I had this urge to walk up to people and be like, I don't like Skanking Pickle or Pickle Rick. Like, I don't like either one of these things. But people love Skanking Pickle. Like, when I made fun of him on the show, not only did they fucking tag the guy, which is like, fuck you, don't do that. But also, like, trying to talk me out of thinking Skanking Pickle is a shitty name for a band.
I do see. I hate when people snitch tag, and I've even blocked listeners of the show before. There's been a lot of drama with that for them tagging Mark Hoppus and stuff. But I do kind of think that I would love for David Draymond to hear the episode of Street Fight that we're going to be on next year. I think maybe I'll send it to him. Actually,
you would be mad about that.
Snitch on yourself.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, I will. I will send you guys the link to the video we watched if you want to watch it over and over again. David Draymond's a massive freak, I would have to say.
So, speaking of massive freaks, I mean, I think you said you have some kind of history with the song Self-Esteem by the Offspring.
Oh my God. So this song comes out and it's a huge fucking hit. Come Out and Play was a big hit. And this is before I found Korn. So I'm not a metal guy yet. I'm listening to a lot of this music and thinking like, wow, this like isn't heavy enough for me. Was always my thing. I was listening to Stone Temple Pilots. I was listening to The Offspring. I was listening to Green Day, and none of them like really hit until I heard Korn, and I was like, oh, that's because I like this, and Pantera. I got into that stuff. But I had my first like real serious girlfriend who I would go hang out with her every day. So I'm in a car one night with one of my friends, this girl that's my friend, and then this other guy. And the guy's talking about his new girlfriend. He's like, "Oh, she's so cool. I'm really into her. She's hot, and it's like really great." And I'm like, "Really?" He's like, "Yeah, she goes to your school." And I said, "Who?" And it was her. It was like my girlfriend. literally dating each other, and for months too. Oh shit! For months.
That's awesome.
And so, like, I went home because I'm super into fucking the Offspring at this time, and I fucking listened to Self-Esteem on repeat and sang it and cried. Like, was kind of crying as I did. It's okay. You know what? And it was just like, it was a mess. I was 16 or 15. I think I was 15. And I just remember hearing that song and just being like, this is how my life is. And was just listening to it and kind of singing the lyrics, but also kind of crying.
That's amazing. Oh my God. I feel like you invented emo.
Crying? Like
you invented emo
Yeah.
in that moment.
I guess you could say that I did a little bit of emo, like an emo cover of The Offspring. But in that moment, I felt like Dexter Holland understood me. Like that was in you know, I could have gone and become an incel.
One Bryan to
I
another.
didn't do that. Yeah, but I was like, man, this guy. I mean, he's been through it too, you know, and then I was like sort of just obsessed with that song for like a year. I would come home from school and I would sit in my room and I would look at a picture of this girl that was my girlfriend and I would listen to Self-Esteem over and fucking over again and just be so fucking sad constantly about this thing. And it took me forever to get over. And then like, once I got into like Korn, I kind of moved it over to that, you know, like if something bad happened in my life, I would cry while I'm singing Korn in my room.
You're like,
but the two albums that really hit me that way was Nirvana Unplugged in New York and Self-Esteem, the song, where it was just like, I think I even fucking bought her the CD and handed it to her at school and said, listen to Self-Esteem. You should listen to the song. This is what you fucking did to me. You know? I'm gonna try to be more powerful.
So like, did it ruin the song for you, or do you kind of still have a fondness for it if you hear it come on the radio?
I kind of like it. I don't cry when I hear it because I've been married for 20 or 10 years and with my wife for over 20 years. But I don't cry, but I do when I hear it. Sort of am like, I like this song. Like I can't. It's the only real Offspring because Pretty Fly for a White Guy and Get a Job were two other songs that I thought were good. But when I listened to them with 2022 ears, I don't like them anymore.
Doesn't sound as good to modern ears. Yeah.
Thanks
and
to
the Pretty Fly for a White Guy
culture.
video was. Thank you. Yes, and Pretty Fly for a White Guy was an excellent video. Like, but yeah, opening a song, My Friend's Got a Girlfriend and He Hates That Bitch is, I loved that. I loved it. I don't even know.
It's punk, man. It's very aggressive.
I have one last question before we let you go. And this is kind of a foreshadow for what people are going to get to hear when they hear us go on Street Fight together. But sort of infamously, I mean, everyone, if you're not following Murder Bryan, it's a wild ride on Twitter. You have a lot of fucked up opinions, but you have this kind of ranking.
Oh, no.
You have this ranking of bodily fluids that you enjoy releasing, and you enjoy. This is something that Sam and I are kind of. I think it's safe to say we're both constantly thinking about and stewing about how fucked up this is. You like puking more than shitting or pissing. I mean,
honestly, I like nutting and then puking, and then. You know, I think shitting and pissing are way down low on that list. I don't like burping. I like hawk and lugs. I do like hawk and lugs. That's high up on the list.
In terms of the one that you forgot to mention, perhaps because you listen to so many shock jocks and you're clouded by toxic masculinity, but what about crying? Where does crying fall on the liquid release list?
It sucks because I haven't done it in a very long fucking time. The thing is, I sort of wish, because there was a couple years ago, or I mean, honestly, like a year ago, really, I was going through a lot of shit with like anxiety, and I ended up getting ketamine treatments, and it fixed it. But in the time between getting the ketamine treatments, before the ketamine treatments, when I was like at my worst. I would try to cry. I'd be like, why don't you just cry? Maybe that'll make you feel good. And I just couldn't even fucking do it. I can't do it.
Did you try putting on Self-Esteem?
I didn't try. Maybe that would like set up my, like that would be very funny if you could play Self-Esteem for me and I would immediately start crying every time I hear it. Now that.
Just have a cathartic emotional moment. That's the power of rock.
I would take that's okay. That's the power of rock. I can't do the voice, but
no.
The Draymond voice.
Oh my God. Well, Brian, we have been talking to you all night, and we could talk to you easily all night, but we have to do the rest of the episode, which we haven't done yet. So thank you so much. Tell everyone what to check out and where.
Just go to Street Fight Radio on the any podcasting app or patreon.com/Street Fight Radio. I do mini-series, and they're all very strange. I've done, I mentioned the butt rock. I've done the shock jocks. I've done, I do the shock jocks every year. I'm doing Dane Cook in December, all episodes about Dane Cook. So I might go crazier than you guys, really.
That sounds fucking bad.
It's called Now We're Cooking. We're going to call it.
Oh, great.
Now We're Cooking. I've done one about all of the movies, the movies, the Friedberg and Seltzer movie. So Date Movie, Disaster Movie. I did all of those. And part of that was about, we read the good reviews on Rotten Tomatoes, which were always very fucking funny. I did another version of that where I watched very classic movie reboot. So I watched Point Break, but the one from 2017.
I didn't even remember they did that.
I've seen that. Steve Aoki's in it.
Watch Total Recall from like 2008.
That one's pretty good. That one's actually pretty good.
Watch it again. I think you might have a different opinion on it.
I'm a Colin head.
I like him too, but that's not as. I mean, it's funny because I watched them without watching the originals. I have seen all the originals, but I watched them without watching the originals intentionally. So they were the movies. I did RoboCop from 2012, I think it was, the bloodless RoboCop. So yeah, I come up with a fucking weird idea and I talk about it for 5 or 6 weeks, and they're generally very strange and fun. So
that rules. And you have the P.O.D. cast with John Cullen from Blocked Party.
I do. You guys would love that. It's a fun show about new metal.
Oh, amazing. Well, thank you so much, Brian.
You're welcome. Brian. Thanks, guys. Have a good night.
185.